Rise and grind, folks. So here's another video. Real quick, we have a 3-zone oil-fired boiler indirect setup, and we have 3 air handlers, well, 2 air handlers, in the storage tank there. Air handlers with the hydrocoil here. What we have is a no heat situation. We had this account now for a few years. This particular air handler was installed by us. And what was happening was whenever the thermostat turned on for this zone, nothing turned on at all, but the boiler turned on. So the pipes were hot, but the fan wasn't turning on. And instantly, guys, putting 2 and 2 together, I looked at this relay here. Now with these air handlers, this is a 120 volt air handler. There's no electric heat because remember, the heat from on this air handler is external. It's a water coil that's piped in from the boiler. So this is only a 115 volt air handler. But how all this corresponds together, guys, is with this peanut relay. As you can see, this relay is pretty simple. It switches power from one side to the other. But what makes the power switch over from one side to the other is a call for heat or a call for AC. In this particular setup, you don't need this for AC. You just need this for heat. But guys, it has the power coming from the switching relay, and you have the wires coming out the air handler on the other side. And then what makes, like I said, power switch over from one side to the other is your thermostat wires. So if there's no call for heat, then you're not going to have anything running. But in this particular case, guys, we had power. We had adequate power on one side of this switching relay, well, this peanut relay. But unfortunately, the spade connector was broken and it wasn't making a good contact. The copper wire wasn't making a good contact with the terminal. So I just had to pop in a new spade connector and it turned right on. So the peanut relay itself was okay, but the connection wasn't up to par. So this was a simple fix. And this air handler isn't old. You know, this thing was put in 2018. So I know the air handler itself is still in relatively in good condition. I just think maybe over time, you know, the connections that was already here, you know, things do happen over time. But yeah, guys, and this is a very simple setup. This is the return and supply. Return goes there and supply goes there. So, and this switching relay here is where the magic happens here. So guys, wires from your circulator pump goes to that switching relay, and wires from your thermostat goes to that switching relay. So if the zone wants heat and there's no call for hot water or no call from heat from the other zone, this switching relay allows zoning from a hydronic standpoint, so you can have one area heat without the other areas being affected. So, and guys, if you know me, I love circulator pumps over zone valves because personally I think you get better flow with different circulators per zone versus having one circulator and 3 zone valves. And another thing, you guys know how I feel about those storage tanks. Having external storage tanks are way better than internal coils on the boiler because, as you can see here, this bad boy, over time, like I said, customers do have issues with running out of hot water. And if you have a boiler set up this way, having an internal storage tank for water, you know, you're not going to, especially depends on the size of the house, you're not going to have enough water. Or 2, you're going to burn through your oil or gas because it's going to take forever to heat up and the unit will never turn off. But having this bad boy right here, you're going to automatically have, this is like a 50-gallon tank here. You're automatically going to have, you know, this boiler is automatically going to keep the water inside the tank at a predetermined level. That is accomplished by a limit switch. So every indirect, every external storage tank will have some type of temperature dial on it, like a limit switch, and that will control the temperature of the water. So whenever the customer needs hot water, this is already going to keep the water at a certain level, regardless of where the heat is set to. So this is a great setup. But like I said, the issue wasn't with the boiler. It was just that connected there. So, and guys, remember, this is an external coil. If you had an internal hydrocoil inside the air handler, you'll probably have a totally separate module, so it'll be a lot less bells and whistles. It'll probably just be one module you just run the thermostat wires to, and that's it. But a lot of things from my experience, a lot of things can definitely, you can definitely do a lot of things with a prenup relay, as long as you guys understand the concept behind it and know how to wire it in. I mean, these things are pretty much, great to have on your truck. You never know when you might need it. So there you guys have it. 3-zone storage tank switching relay with the hydro coil. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.